Hello, entrepreneurs. Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneur Fundamentals. My name is Robert Bitto. Today we're going to talk about formalizing and documenting all of your business processes. Every little thing that you do in your business that's somewhat repetitive needs to be documented and explained in great detail. What I did for my business about 14 or 15 years ago is I created an employee manual, and it shows store number 2, the front of the manual, and I call it desk instructions. And I created this so that anyone could walk into the job and do the job just by reading the instructions. Someone off the street with no direction from me could just pick up the desk instructions and read them, look at the illustrations, and do the job without really having to ask many questions. So all of your processes that you have should be documented in a way similar to this. I had one employee come in and I gave her this big thick manual, and I went through it with her. It took about 5 or 10 minutes to go through, and she got to the point where it said, this is how you tape up a box for shipping. And she looked at me and she said, seriously? And I said, yes. There is a way to tape a box. I do a lot of shipping out of here, and I've mentioned in another video that I've mailed out over 60,000 packages in 17 years, almost 17 years. I'm estimating it's probably between 60 and 70,000 packages. And I spend thousands of dollars a year on packing supplies, including tape, boxes, fill, bubble wrap, all that stuff. And the whole point to documenting something as simple as a box, how you put together a box, how do you tape up a box, there are numbers of reasons for that. One is you don't want the employee to waste your supplies, waste tape. You don't want the employee to waste time. And you also don't want the employee to do it the wrong way, because there is a right and a wrong way. And when I talk to postal workers, when I first started to ship a lot, I asked postal workers what's the best way to secure a box, because they've seen everything, go through their stations or whatever. And so I got input from them. I got also just the best practices that we have been using. I combined that and put that in the manual, and that's one of just a number of little things, little processes that are documented. This isn't my idea. It's funny how this came about. When I worked in corporate America, I worked in a department where everyone was quitting and they had a hard time keeping people. They didn't look into the reasons why. They surveyed us and they found that 2 straight years in a row, 0% of the people on our floor and our department were satisfied with pay. You think maybe that could have been the reason why people were leaving? But anyway, instead of addressing the issue, they refused to address the real issue. They did 2 things in response to people quitting all the time in that department. They started a policy called hiring in advance of attrition. So they knew a whole bunch of people were going to quit, so they hired people in the wings. They'd hire people and say, oh, wait 2 more weeks, we think somebody's going to quit, so then you can just come right in. And then the second thing that they did to adapt to this, instead of addressing the real issues, is they brought in these consultants to sit down with everyone, including me. I was, when I was working at that department. They sat down and took notes on every single little thing that I did with my job. And then they put it into a booklet called Desk Instructions. And that's why I titled it Desk Instructions. Partly as a homage to that, and partly as a little reminder of my time in corporate America, because you don't want to forget how ridiculous everything was. When you're an entrepreneur, you want little reminders of corporate America around you so that you remember what you left and why you left that situation. So anyway, these people came in and they documented everything, and they made desk instructions so that when somebody just said, oh, to heck with this, I'm leaving, and they'd walk out in the middle of a shift, in the middle of their job, then someone could be brought in, given the desk instructions, and there, they knew the job. And that's actually pretty smart. So, hey, as an entrepreneur, you can learn from any place, really. And so here's a tip from corporate America. But it's good for you as a small business person because, you have to watch every little penny. And if somebody, let's go back to the box example. Like I said, there are many examples. The desk instructions are thick. They have a lot of different processes, a lot of different jobs and aspects of jobs and all that. But back to the boxes, if there's somebody who thinks that every single seam of the box needs to be taped, well, that person's wasting time, and they're wasting your money by overusing tape. So you have to watch all of that stuff like a hawk. You have to watch your expenses and time that employees spend. You have to watch all that. It's really not like corporate America where you have all this slack, or the government, where whatever, who cares what people are doing. You have to care all the time. And so you have to document and streamline every little thing that has to do with your business. That's not being OCD. That's just being a good business person. So that's my helpful hint for today. Remember to document everything so that anybody can walk in and do the job like an excellent worker from the beginning. Okay, enough on that. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like, share, subscribe, tweet your friends, all that jazz. Like me on Facebook, follow me. And until next time, remember to always work hard, and may all of your entrepreneurial dreams come true.